unlock the secret. Is the cruise buffet now better than the dining room? Hey, dear! Think about it. For years, cruise passengers have been told the same thing. If you want the real cruise experience, you eat in the main dining room. White tablecloths, multiple courses, waiters who learn your name. Meanwhile, the buffet has always had a reputation as the backup option. The place you go for a quick lunch, a late-night snack, or when you don't feel like dressing up. But something interesting has been happening on cruise ships in recent years. More and more experienced cruisers are quietly skipping the dining room and heading straight to the buffet instead. Not because they have to, because they actually prefer it. In 2006, cruise buffets have changed dramatically. The food options are broader, the quality has improved on many ships, and the experience itself is often faster, more flexible, and sometimes even better than the traditional dining room. That doesn't mean the dining room is bad, but depending on the ship, the itinerary, and the kind of traveler you are, the buffet might actually give you a better cruise dining experience. So in this video, we're going to break down why some cruisers now choose the buffet over the dining room, and why it might be worth trying on your next cruise. Because the biggest surprise for many passengers is this: the buffet isn't just convenient anymore. Sometimes it's the better option. One of the biggest advantages of the buffet is something simple: flexibility. In the main dining room, dinner still follows a structure. Even with flexible dining options, you're usually committing to a full meal with multiple courses and a pace that's set by the kitchen and the waitstaff. For some passengers, that's perfect. But for others, especially on busy cruise itineraries, it can feel limiting. Maybe you spent the entire day exploring a port and you're exhausted. Maybe you want a quick meal before a show. Maybe you're traveling with kids who aren't interested in sitting through a long dinner service. The buffet solves all of that. You can arrive whenever you want. You can eat for 10 minutes or 40 minutes. You can grab a full dinner or just a small plate. There's no waiting for a table, no waiting between courses, and no schedule you have to follow. That flexibility is especially valuable on modern cruise ships where evenings are packed with activities, shows, trivia, live music, casino events, late-night entertainment. Many experienced cruisers prefer to eat quickly at the buffet so they can spend more time enjoying the ship. And for families, the difference can be even bigger. Instead of trying to keep kids entertained through a long dining room experience, they can grab what they want, eat at their own pace, and head back out to explore. It turns dinner into something that fits your evening instead of controlling it. And on many cruises today, that kind of flexibility is exactly what people are looking for. Another reason many cruisers prefer the buffet is simple: variety. In the main dining room, you usually choose one appetizer, one main course, and one dessert. Some cruise lines allow multiple items, but the experience still follows a traditional menu structure. At the buffet, the rules disappear. You can try a little bit of everything: a small plate of pasta, a piece of grilled fish, a spoonful of curry, a slice of pizza, maybe even a dessert or two, all in the same meal. This is especially appealing on longer cruises or on ships with international buffets, where the selection changes nightly. One evening might feature Mediterranean dishes, another night Asian specialties, another night classic comfort food. For passengers who enjoy sampling different cuisines, the buffet often feels more like a food hall than a traditional restaurant. And because portions are smaller and self-served, you can experiment without committing to a full dish. If you try something and don't love it, you simply grab something else. Many experienced cruisers even make a game out of it, walking the entire buffet first, seeing what's available, then building a plate with small portions of several dishes. In the dining room, that kind of variety usually requires ordering multiple courses and waiting between each one. At the buffet, it happens instantly. And for travelers who enjoy exploring food as part of their cruise experience, that freedom can make dinner a lot more fun. Another reason some cruisers prefer the buffet is the pace. Dinner in the main dining room can easily take an hour and a half. On some ships, especially when the dining room is full, it can stretch even longer. That's part of the traditional cruise experience: a slow, multi-course meal with time for conversation. But not everyone wants that every night. Sometimes you just want to eat and move on. At the buffet, dinner can take 20 minutes if you want it to. You walk in, choose what you like, find a table, and start eating immediately. There's no waiting for menus, no waiting for the next course, and no feeling like you're stuck until the service finishes. For passengers with busy evenings planned, shows, comedy acts, live music, or late-night activities, that time savings can make a big difference. It also removes some of the small pressures that come with dining rooms. You don't have to worry about dress codes. You don't have to coordinate dining times. You don't have to sit through a long service if you're tired after a port day. For many travelers, especially those who cruise frequently, that relaxed atmosphere makes the buffet feel more comfortable. Instead of structuring the evening around dinner, dinner simply fits into the evening. And on modern cruise ships where there's always something happening, that flexibility can make the entire night flow better. One reason the buffet used to get a bad reputation is simple. Years ago, many cruise buffets were pretty basic. Large trays of food sitting under heat lamps, long lines, and the same predictable options every night. But on many modern ships, that's changed significantly. Cruise lines have invested heavily in buffet upgrades over the past decade. Instead of one long buffet line, many ships now use food hall-style layouts with different stations spread around the room. Grill stations, international cuisine sections, fresh pasta counters, carving stations, made-to-order stir-fry or noodles, pizza ovens, and bakery areas. Some buffets even have crew members plating the food for you instead of traditional self-service. The result is something that feels closer to a casual restaurant or food market than the old-school cruise buffet. And because these stations rotate dishes throughout the evening, the food can actually stay fresher than it did in the past. Many experienced cruisers will tell you the same thing. The biggest difference between the dining room and the buffet today isn't necessarily quality, it's presentation and service style. The food itself is often coming from the same kitchen. So if you haven't tried the buffet for dinner on a modern cruise ship in a while, the experience might be very different from what you remember. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean the dining room is a bad choice. For many cruisers, it's still one of the highlights of the trip. The service is more personal, the atmosphere is more elegant, and the experience feels more like a traditional restaurant. If you enjoy dressing up, taking your time, and having the same servers learn your preferences over the course of the cruise, the dining room can be fantastic. But the key difference today is that it's no longer the only real dinner experience on a cruise ship. Modern ships give passengers options. Some nights you might want the full dining room experience. Other nights you might want something quick, casual, and flexible. And that's where the buffet really shines. It gives you the freedom to eat how you want, when you want, without planning your evening around a long meal. Final verdict: for years, the buffet was seen as the backup plan. But on many cruise ships in 2000, it's become something else entirely. A fast, flexible, surprisingly diverse dining option that works perfectly for modern cruising. That doesn't mean you should skip the dining room completely. But if you've never tried the buffet for dinner, it might be worth giving it a shot at least once on your next cruise. You might be surprised how good it is. And you might discover that sometimes the most relaxed dinner on the ship isn't the one with the white tablecloths. It's the one where you simply grab a plate, sit by the window, and watch the ocean go by. If you enjoyed this, the next video looks at another cruise debate passengers are having in 22.6, whether specialty restaurants are actually worth the extra money. And the answer might surprise you. So yeah, this is all. What do you think? Comment and subscribe for more videos about cruise tips.